Hello guys, Jayanam here with a new tutorial. This one is about texturing, and I use the tools Blender, Substance Painter and Unity. Last week we created this simple monitor and there was a lot of discussion about meshes with NGons. You can see this here in edit mode, we have quite a few of them, but they are not that evil, especially for models that are not bent like organic models when they are animated. I used just one material for this now because we will add the textures in Substance Painter. And for the meshes I did a very simple smart UV unwrapping. Okay, but before I export the model as FBX, I select each object and add a triangulate modifier to it. First for the screen and then for the stand. I don't triangulate the mesh because I want to work non-destructive. This means I don't apply the modifier, because when I do this, you can see this here when I press apply, the mesh is triangulated and it's very hard then to extend it. So I undo this and then I select both objects and go to File, Export FBX. And here we can export the mesh. I also check Experimental Apply Transform, Selected Objects Only, and here under Geometry I choose Apply Modifiers. This means the modifiers, the bevel and the triangulate, are applied for the exported model, not for the objects in my blend file. Here they are still unapplied. So why to triangulate when exporting? The game engine will triangulate and process triangles anyway, right? That's true, basically. But it could be the case that, for example, the texturing app like Substance Painter has a different triangulation algorithm than the game engine. And then you could run into problems for your maps. So when you triangulate, you are on the safe side regarding these issues. This is my experience over years now. Okay, and now comes the texturing step. We start Substance Painter and import the FBX. This is the latest version of Substance Painter. I go ahead and choose File, New, and here can select the FBX that we just exported. I don't change the other parameters, I just press Select and select the exported file Monitor FBX. Then I press OK and here you can see the imported model. The shading looks nice, then I save the project. And when I go here to the Polygon Fill tool, you can see that we imported the triangulated version of the mesh. When I activate the 2D view as well, you can see the UV layout. It is not very good. As I said, I just did a smart UV unwrapping, but for the sake of this tutorial and this simple mesh, it will work. This part is the screen. We will need this later on. Okay guys, now we are ready to add some materials. The first one that I'm going to add is a kind of base material from the smart materials. This will be a kind of glossy plastic material, but I also want to add some roughness overlays. So I search for gloss and find this plastic armory. The roughness overlays are a bit too strong. You can see this here when I move around the light. But I will reduce the strength of these rough parts in a later step. The layer is named now Plastic Armor Glossy. I renamed this to Monitor. Okay, and now I go ahead and add a new material, which is just for the screen. It will be more reflective. I search for gloss in the materials now and choose this plastic glossy pure. And then I drag this to the top of the layer stack, and then the whole thing is glossy blue. First I set the color to a gray tone, and then we have to add a mask because we want to use this just for the screen. So what you do in Substance Painter for this is to add a black mask to the layer that you added, and after that you add white parts to the mask that you want to be visible. Before I add the mask, I enable the 2D view again, then I right click the layer and add a black mask, and after that I use the Polygon Fill tool, this one, and draw select the polygons that I want to be visible, and this is the screen. And now you can see this on the left side as well. The glossy material is visible for these parts only. Okay, after that I hide the 2D view again, And now we can see that this texturing isn't realistic. The screen is extremely clean and the other parts are dirty and there are a lot of rough parts. And in order to change this, we could cut out the roughness and crunch parts of this smart material and bring it to the top of the layer stack, because then it will be used for the whole model. So I open the hierarchy of the smart material. What I also want to change is the color. I set it to a gray tone. And then I find this layer here, which is responsible for the rough parts and the crunch map. I right click on this and select Cut Layers. Okay, then I go to the top of the layer stack, right click again and choose Paste Layers. And now the roughness is used for all the layers below. But as I said, it's a bit too much, so we can reduce this. The first thing that we have to do is to add a black mask. Again, after doing this, we won't see anything of this roughness because it is fully masked. And by the way, if you want to reuse a mask, for example the one that we added for the screen, you can copy it and paste it to the other mask. Okay, and then we have the roughness just for the screen. But this is not our use case here, I just wanted to show this feature. What I want to do now is to add a generator to this mask. So I remove this one and then add a new black mask with a generator. So I right click the mask, add a generator, and for the generator I choose dirt. The dirt generator is also just a kind of black and white image, but you can use now the dirt level property to control the roughness with a dirt map. I don't want to overdo this, so I go with this level, and I think that's it for the roughness map. Okay, what we could do as well is to add a new layer, to which we add some hard surface shapes. For example, add a button to turn the monitor on and off. For this layer I disable all the channels except the normal, and then I snap the view so that I can easily stamp this button onto the monitor. Okay, I remove the alpha from the brush, and then I go to the shelf Hard Surfaces and select a normal that looks like a button. I think I will use this one. We have to drag it into the normal slot. Then I scale this down and just left click to stamp it onto the mesh. Alright, then a second one, and this looks really nice. Okay, I guess we are done with the texturing process. What you can do here in Substance Painter to make the model look really nice is to change the display settings. I make the environment visible and activate the shadows and also some post-processing effects like a vignette, subsurface scattering and anti-aliasing. Okay, after that we are going to export the textures so that we can add the model to a game engine, and for this tutorial I will use Unity 2019.2 beta. So go to File, Export Textures, and for the config I use Unity Standard Specular. These are the maps that will be exported. Then I define the export folder. I created a subfolder called Monitor and I'm going to export to this location. Alright, that's it. Here you can see the exported maps, and now we are going to open Unity 2019 to import the textures and the FBX. Okay, this is the default project when you open Unity with a new project and the lightweight render pipeline. I removed some of the assets in the scene and now we are dragging the monitor FBX file into the assets folder. Here you can see it, it is imported already. And now I'm extracting the material that we added with Blender 2.8 to the materials folder. This is the default shader of the lightweight render pipeline, and the only thing we have to do now is to add the textures to it. So I drag the textures from the Windows Explorer to the materials folder as well. Then they are imported and we have to configure these a bit. This is the albedo map, the base color, we don't have to change it. For the normal map we have to define that this actually is a normal map. And for the roughness you could define it, for example, as legacy GUI or sprite, so that you can use it as a map for the specular input. And then let's drag the textures to the material slots. First I set this to specular because we exported the maps as standard specular workflow. And I set the base color to a lighter tone. And now we drag in the maps. First the albedo, then the normal map. Here you can already see the hard surface details that we added in Substance Painter. And finally I add the specular map. Alright, and now let's have a look at this from different angles so that you can see the roughness parts. Looks really nice, and as you can see the monitor consists of two parts so that you can rotate the screen like this. What you can do as well is to change the smoothness factor of the specular map to make the screen appear even more reflective. Okay guys, I hope you liked this workflow video for Blender, Substance Painter and the Unity game engine. In the end, let me announce a course for beginners to Blender 2.8 to be able to get started with this amazing and free 3D tool. It is called the Blender 2.8 Launchpad, made by Zach Reinhardt. I can highly recommend it. You can start with it as an absolute beginner to Blender. The link to the course is added to the description below. If you are fast, you can still have 10% discount because the first 100 downloads for the link in my description get this. Okay guys, if you like my channel, then don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Stay tuned on Jayanam, and if you have any questions, add these to the comments below. And I will try to answer these as best and soon as I can. Thanks for watching this, thanks for your support, and I see you in the next one.